most of my life, even since I was very young. I'm sure probably a lot of you guys do that kind of stuff too. A lot of stage and some on-camera work. And I was working on a video production in Houston, Texas. And a guy said, that was working on the video, said, hey, you got a lot of acting background, don't you? And I said, yeah. And he said, you ought to go and audition for this place in town. And so I went and auditioned for this ADV Films in Houston, and they were doing this show called Street Fighter 2. And I went and auditioned, and I got cast as Vega. And yeah, you know, the masked guy, like Mr. Matador kind of guy. And then the next show came up, and got cast again, and again, and again. And this was back when anime was very small. You know, it was very kind of a real niche, kind of a specialized market. And then I kept doing work, and after I'd done 20 or 30 shows, I did a convention, and I met some people from Funimation in Dallas. And they said, hey, you should come up and audition and do some stuff for us. And I went up there and started doing like Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho and all that kind of stuff. And then Full Metal Alchemist and all that kind of stuff. Then I met some people in Los Angeles, and they said, you should come out here and do some stuff out here. So I went out there and I started working on video games and Bleach and a whole bunch of other stuff out there. So it was really quite by accident. I kind of stumbled into voice acting. But I really love it. It's become like such a main part of my life. So that is my story. What is your story?
Mine is far less interesting.
Oh, I don't think so.
I was in a band, and the studio that we were recording our album at had also did a lot of commercial work. So I popped my head in there one day. I was like, I really got to get rich. Get out, kid. So I left, cried a little bit. It's cool. And then 2 weeks later, I got a call from those people saying, hey, if you're still interested, come on down and see what you can do. So I walked in, grabbed some copy, and it was car commercials. So I just did what I heard on the radio. I was like, this Sunday, Sunday, Sunday! You know, that whole thing. And I got the job. And I said, do you mind kind of telling me why, like 2 weeks ago, you didn't want to know my name, and now I'm your guy? And they're like, oh yeah, the guy that's been doing our car commercials for the last 25 years had a heart attack and died. Oh, bad for him, good for me. And then I was doing a bunch of car commercials in Dallas, and having a blast doing that because it was just, you know, goofy, cheesy. Come on down, folks, and you can get broke. And that actually was an actual spot. And then I met this guy, Chris Sabat, and he goes, "Hey man, have you ever thought about doing anime?" I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So he cast me in Case Closed, which was the first thing that I did. And, well, funny story. So he goes, you're the bad guy, you set up everything. It's all, you know, you do this, do the bad guy, blah, 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 and you're gonna be a whole series. I was like, awesome. I walk in, I shrink Conan down, and I go, say goodnight, detective, and that's it. You never see me again. It was like, swindled! But yeah, I got the same thing. I got to a relationship with Funimation. They just kind of threw me in a couple of shows at Yu Yu, then just kind of doing a bunch of different shows, and then it's all about parlaying one thing into the next, you know, and it's all completely relationship based. There's no, you know, golden pot at the end of the weird rainbow or whatever. There's Irish people and little leprechauns. That's kind of fun. Just no pot of gold. Quit asking me about the pot of gold. There's no pot of gold. Okay, for the last time, there's no pot of gold.
Where's the pot of gold?
That was the best Irish ever here.
Quick turn.
Do it. Make it happen.
Where's the pot of gold?